Ready to see me swatch this little mini volume 1 Norvina palette? Then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène and welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome to HMM Makeup or Makeup. I am really excited to swatch this little one. I actually have all three, volume 1, 2, and 3. This is volume 1. And when I was offering up the opportunity to vote for the different brands I'm going to focus on first in my 65 palettes to review this year, it was really interesting because I forgot about these guys. And I think it's just because of the size and the fact that ABH has never really released little palettes like this. So anyway, apart from their like blush quads and that kind of thing, but this is pretty small for a palette for ABH, and I am very happy to see more mini palettes coming on the market. I think that they are very much needed, and what a great thing. So I realize these are not new anymore, but they are still around, so it's definitely worth it, in my opinion, to be swatching this one. Now this one is more on the purpley pink side. This is what it looks like. And I like it. I will say that the two colors that really got me for this palette were this one and this one. But out of all three of the palettes that are these minis, this is my least favorite. But then again, I haven't touched it, haven't swatched it, and I could definitely end up eating crow. We'll find out, right? So I need to do the swatches, see what I think of those, and then also obviously do a first look with this palette. Now, if you're curious about my look today, if you want to know what it is that is on my eyes, I will put everything in the description box. I will say that I'm using a Butter London, is it called? It's an oil slick, but what's it called? Butter London, glossy eye? Hang on. Glazed eye glosses, finally. I'm using one of those. I'm using the Caviar Stick in Amethyst by Laura Mercier. And I have a little bit of Buxom and a little bit of Smashbox on my eyes. So that's pretty much most of what I'm wearing today. But for everything else, you can find it in the description box. Okay. Now, oh, I haven't taken the, sorry about the light. I haven't taken the plastic off the mirror. So I'm going to do that right now because that's fun, always. Okay, so here we go. It makes it official. All right, and I'm going to do, because it's only 9, I'm going to just use the 3 bigger fingers that I have on my hand because the pinky sometimes doesn't do a great job. And I'll be using this forearm, of course. So 9 shadows should be fine, and I'm going to go straight across. So here we go. I'll stop talking and I will start swatching. Now there are only 2 shimmers in this palette. Lots of mattes. So hopefully you can see the colors there, and let's start swatching. That is very flamingo pink. Not my favorite color, but a lot of folks like it. Now this one is one that we will all use, no question, even if it's just for inner corner highlight. And this is the third one, which is, this is more in line with what I would wear. That would look great in the crease. It could look good on the inner lid, lower lash line. All right, so I'm going to go in a second time. I like to show the fingers. There's a little bit of an undertone of blue in this one. I find that that shows more what it's going to look like on the eye, really. The form still gives you an idea of what how the color spreads with the finger, but it's not round. It's just not round. Okay, and let's do a second swatch. I think that first one and the third one could possibly be a blush. Sheared out with some setting powder. It might look good as a blush or mixed in with some powder foundation. Okay, so those are the first 3. And like I said, for my preferences, the other rows are probably going to end up making it more so for me than the first row. And if these are your favorite colors, that's just my opinion. We're all different, right? A lot of folks would not go with an eye look like this either, right? We just have to do what we like. And there is major staining power on these eyeshadows. I'm going to have to wet my cloth here. Hang on. Wow, that is pigment. That is pigment. I cannot believe this. Okay, we are now going for the second row, and that is looking more promising. I think this is a duochrome. We will see. Let's see here. So another very bright neon type color, kind of like the flamingo one I was talking about earlier. Okay, 2 mattes and a shimmer again. So let's see how these look. That is so bright again. Whew. Okay, yeah, duochrome. It's that fiery pink color, which is very, very pretty. It's pretty popular these days. I see it in a lot of palettes. So I don't know if people are wearing it that much, but it sure shows up in palettes. Okay. So to me, this one is a bit more interesting than the first 3, I will say. And again, these make me think of blush colors, probably because these two make me think of blushes and this makes me think of a highlight, right? It just, and this actually looks like the Own Your Light from Becca. If it were sheared out, that might actually look like that highlighter. All right, I am going to go in a second time, of course, because that's just what I do. And this middle one that is kind of like that Becca highlighter is very flaky. Actually, the gold one is quite flaky as well. So I'm just picking up the kick up really. All right, and we are going to swatch again. Oh boy, does that build up. Holy cow, did you see that? Oh, if you didn't feel like it was enough color the first time. And now the pink. Yeah, that builds up beautifully as well. Okay, so if you're looking for intensity of color, you're going to get it with this palette. Yep, yep, yep. Look at these fingers. I would call that intense. It makes me think of the Vivids by Color Drain. Like this is mega. I was planning on doing a bunch of swatching today, and I'm gonna have to scrub my hands before I do the next video, I can tell you, because yeah, it's going to be a distraction for us if I still have these pink fingers when I'm trying to do another palette. All right, back to the palette, and we've got the last 3, and these ones I'm really excited about. So let's get to it. They are all mattes. Oh yeah, oh yeah. This is totally my jam right there. Good stuff. Okay, so here's the first one, and I'm gonna have just enough room on that forearm. Yeah, I really, really like that. Second one. And third. These are very, very nice. They're very green eye friendly. And that is probably driving you crazy. I'm gonna pull up my sleeve a little bit more. Okay, time to go in a second time. Look at that, right? Huh, okay, all right. I think we'll talk about all of these when I'm done here, but I really am enjoying these. And as was the case for the rest, they build up pretty well. I'm impressed because, you know what, reds and purples sometimes, reddish pinks and purples sometimes have trouble building up. And in this case, there is no trouble whatsoever. Okay, so I'm going to wipe these little fingers off, and we are going to talk about the whole set of 9. All right, I just blew off a little bit of the kick up, but most of these caused some kick up. These two were the messiest because they are kind of flaky. And yeah, we've seen the pans. Let's go back to the swatches. And what do I think? I want to make sure you see it and I see it. Okay, well, these two are no-brainers. I think that most of us would like them. Even if it's just for a brow bone or inner corner highlight, like I said, I think that most of us would use them. I know that these guys, including turquoise, are pretty popular this year, or this over the last couple of years, and turquoise is just huge right now. I don't know why. I think that they may get more use right now than they might otherwise get, unless it's absolutely your jam. I could see myself using this in the crease, but definitely not as a kind of a muted, very, very light color. These no-brainer. This one I do like because of that kind of, there's a bit of a blue undertone to it, and it makes me think of one of the Urban Decay shadows that has that same effect. Let me see if I can just find it. Yeah, I was thinking of Asphyxia, but Asphyxia is quite different from the one that I was pointing to. So this one is a lot more fuchsia, whereas Asphyxia is a lot more purple, then has that pink. In this case, it's kind of a fuchsia that has a blue undertone. So it's different, but the same concept. Anyway, moving on. Then we get into 4 mattes, and I would say that I would, if I were to say what my colors are for this palette, I would probably dispense this one and this one and keep the shimmers and the 4 mattes. That would be my preference. I feel like I can do a lot with them. I think that I would definitely do an all matte look. I don't think I would have an issue with that whatsoever. I would just go and get like a beigey yellow for the brow bone. And a lot of these, this one for sure, this one for sure, this one for sure, I would use as for the lower lash line. And I think that's it. And these I could just reach for and combine with another palette even. I think that as far as the minis, the 9-pan minis from ABH, this is my least interesting color story. And I did mention that before I started swatching. So my commentary on it is limited. The mattes are interesting to me, the 2 shimmers in that, and that's it, just not into the flamingo stuff. But that could be exactly why you're picking up that palette, or you have that palette already, and it's okay. We're just different. And so I will leave it at that for the Volume 1 in the Mini Norvina Pro Pigment palettes. Let me know what you think of the swatches. Is this one of your favorites out of the trio? If you have a favorite, let me know which one it is. I'd be curious to know. And I will leave you with these swatches, and hopefully we'll offer up a first impressions video on this palette sooner than later. But for now, I will say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, as always, take care.